In 2015, two of the most powerful men in Silicon Valley sat down together and made a promise. They were going to build artificial intelligence, not for profit, not for shareholders, but for all of humanity. No strings, no greed, no private empire, just a non-profit, open to the world, dedicated to making sure AI didn't destroy the future. One of those men was Elon Musk, the other was Sam Altman. 11 years later, they faced each other in a federal courtroom in Oakland, California. Musk accused Altman of betrayal. Altman accused Musk of wanting to control everything. 5 witnesses, including OpenAI's own co-founder, called Altman a liar under oath, and the company they built together is now worth $852 billion. This is not a story about a lawsuit. This is a story about a promise that broke Silicon Valley in half. To understand why this trial matters, not just to tech, but to the world, you need to understand what OpenAI was supposed to be. In 2015, Musk, Altman, and a small group of researchers made a radical bet. They believed AI was the most powerful and dangerous technology ever created, and they believed the only way to keep it safe was to build it themselves, openly, transparently, and without the profit motive that drives every other tech company. Musk donated $38 million in the early years. Microsoft eventually invested billions more. And then, somewhere between 2018 and 2025, something fundamental changed. The non-profit that was supposed to save humanity became a company valued at nearly $1 trillion, and Elon Musk decided someone had to answer for it. The founding story of OpenAI is one of the strangest in Silicon Valley history. In 2015, Musk and Altman co-founded the company together at a dinner in Palo Alto. The original vision was simple and almost naive. Build AI as a public good, publish all the research, let the world benefit. Musk personally recruited some of the best AI researchers on Earth. He wrote the checks, he lent his name. But almost immediately, the power struggle began. Musk, according to testimony in the trial, wanted full control. He pushed to merge OpenAI with Tesla. He ranked researchers by their accomplishments in ways that, according to Sam Altman's own testimony, demotivated the entire team. In 2018, Musk left OpenAI's board. The official reason, potential future conflicts with Tesla. The real reason, according to people in the room, was simpler. Musk had lost, Altman had won, and Musk never forgave him for it. For 5 years after Musk left, OpenAI was a research lab that most people had never heard of. Then, in November 2022, ChatGPT launched, and everything changed. 100 million users in 60 days, the fastest consumer product adoption in history. And suddenly, the non-profit that Musk had funded and walked away from was the most valuable AI company on Earth. Microsoft poured in billions, investors lined up, and in 2025, OpenAI completed a restructuring, converting its for-profit subsidiary into a public benefit corporation, diluting the non-profit board's control and making Altman and others extraordinarily wealthy. That was the moment Musk could no longer stay quiet. He filed his lawsuit in 2024, and in April 2026, the case went to trial. What happened inside that Oakland courtroom over the next 3 weeks was unlike anything Silicon Valley had ever seen in public. The trial produced moments that will be discussed for decades. Ilya Sutskever, OpenAI's own co-founder and former chief scientist, took the stand and testified that he had spent nearly a year compiling evidence of what he called Sam Altman's consistent pattern of lying. Mira Murati, OpenAI's former CTO, testified about similar concerns. Helen Toner and Tasha McCauley, 2 former board members, said the same thing. By the time Musk's lawyer Stephen Molo stood up for his closing argument, he had a devastating number to deliver. 5 witnesses, all people who had known Altman for years, all who had worked alongside him, all called him a liar under oath. Then came the question that stopped the courtroom cold. Musk's attorney walked up to Sam Altman and asked simply, "Are you completely trustworthy?" Altman's answer, whatever it was, didn't matter. The question itself was the point. OpenAI fired back. Their lawyer argued that Musk never actually imposed conditions on his donations, that he knew from the beginning OpenAI would need a for-profit structure, and that his real motivation for the lawsuit was to sabotage a competitor to his own AI company, xAI. They even brought out a golden trophy of a donkey's backside, gifted to an employee who had once stood up to Musk inside the company, and showed it to the jury. The trial had become a spectacle. And somewhere underneath the spectacle was a question that nobody could fully answer. Who was actually telling the truth? As of May 17, 2026, the jury is deliberating. The verdict is advisory, meaning the judge can ignore it entirely. Even if Musk wins on every count, the remedies phase still has to play out. He is asking for up to $134 billion in damages. He is asking for Altman to be removed as CEO. He is asking for OpenAI's restructuring to be unwound. Most legal analysts say he is likely to lose. OpenAI has continued raising money throughout the trial, closing a $122 billion round at an $852 billion valuation in March. The IPO is still on track. The lawsuit, it seems, has not slowed anything down. But here is what the trial did accomplish, and maybe what Musk always intended. It forced the most powerful AI company in the world to defend itself in public. It put Sam Altman's credibility on trial. It produced emails, text messages, private journals, and internal documents that showed the chaotic, messy, deeply human reality behind the company that is shaping the future. The promise made in 2015 is gone. What replaced it is worth nearly $1 trillion. Whether that is a betrayal or just the inevitable logic of building something extraordinary, that is the question this trial will never fully answer. Because some promises, once broken, cannot be judged in a courtroom. If you want to understand the decisions, the betrayals, and the promises that are shaping artificial intelligence, and through it, the entire future, subscribe to Silicon Strategy. The Musk versus Altman verdict is coming, and we will cover every word of it.